Hi, OPC family. Welcome to class this month on the chair, balancing it all.
Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today.
So this month we are focusing on kind of the balance of your body in your Pilates practice. So there's lots of ways throughout that we work both sides of the body and try to balance out how we feel in our body. So I love the chair for this because it is very humbling, right? So we kind of figure out what is a little off, maybe one side doing more than the other, one side not firing like it's supposed to. So we are going to explore that through a lot of exercises here on the chair. So I use the chair for a lot of my clients for their balance. So I'm going to do some of the stuff that I do with them, and then we will kind of explore a few different things. I've got some variations that I like to throw in. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to stand ourselves up. So you're just going to stand evenly on your feet. So just kind of hip distance apart here, and just kind of find what feels comfortable, right? So just close your eyes and kind of see which side of your body is doing what. Maybe there's a little sway. Maybe you feel more weight in one side than the other. And then open your eyes and let's bring our arms up to a genie position. All right, so just holding yourself nice and tall. So we're going to start to lift one knee and set it down. Lift the other knee and set it down. So just finding and paying attention to what your balance does here. So like I can tell one side is a little different than the other today, which makes sense. We're never really symmetrical. Do one more on each side. All right, so we're going to come back and check that out at the end just to see how we feel after doing all the exercises in the class today. So let's go ahead and we're going to put a top and a bottom spring on your chair. So I have the 𝐒𝐥𝐸 chair, so I will refer to a top and a bottom as a 3 and a 1 today. If you have a Wunda chair, it's the top and the bottom. There's only 3 settings. If you have a different type of chair, I'm not familiar with all of the other ones, but just find what works for you, right? Springs, suggestions, right? So whatever works for you, if you're used to something in your practice or you want to try something different, do that, okay? All right, so we're seated on our chair, and I'm going to have myself from the side here so you can kind of see what we're working on. So with seated footwork, we want to be towards the front edge of the chair, towards the pedal, and you want to be on those sits bones, right? So you kind of figure out where those are, wiggle around, and then we're sitting up tall. So I have a hypermobile lower back, so you can kind of see if I stick my booty out, like I'm still on my sits bones, but my belly is forward. So I have to pull my belly in and squeeze my booty to stay nice and tall in my low back and my pelvis. And then bring your hands to the front of your chair, and you're just going to press your hands into the chair. So we turn on these shoulders onto our back, heels together, toes apart, and we're going to press and lift. So I have really long legs, so a lot of times my press looks very small. That's just because I got a lot of legs and there's nowhere else to go. So I just have to concentrate on keeping everything tall through my spine and my torso. And we're going to do about 10 of these in each position today. Good, last one here. And then we take those feet to our arches. So remember, you're still trying to grip the pedal pad with your feet, and then take your hands to the outsides of your chair, or the edges of your chair, and you're gonna squeeze towards center. So again, keeping those shoulders on, we press and lift. So keep squeezing through the legs, they're together. Your backside is on, and it's a press and a pull, right? So we're not letting the spring lift our legs. Last 2. Good, and then we come to those heels. So again, legs are together, flexed in your feet, nice and tall through your spine. Press through the heels and pull the heels to your bottom. We're still squeezing the side of the chair here. Last 2. And 1. Good. Come back to your toes in your Pilates V position. Let's go to our genie arms here. All right, so single leg. So with this, we want a little press into our pedal. So there's some tension there. And then you're lifted through your center. You're going to take your right leg out in front, and we pump 4 times. And we switch. Pump 4 times. Good. And take a moment to see which side felt different. My right side was like, why? I don't want to do this. So I can just tell my right side is a little bit off today, and that's okay, right? Go to parallel with your feet on your toes. I'm going to take your hands to your thighs. So knees line up to your hips. Hands right there on your thighs, and we're going to point the toes and flex. So we're trying not to move our femur up and down, but literally just flexing and pointing at the ankle here. Last 2 and 1. Good. All right. Let's come on off of there. So we're going to go with our ab series on top of the chair today. So I'm going to turn it so that I can lay on it long ways. So you can choose if you want to do it short ways. I'm just really long, so that never really works out for me. All right, so we're going to go into our ab series here. So we're going to try our roll down here. So as we start to tuck our tail and roll down, you're going to start to lift the feet and the knees come up and pull into your chest. So chest stays lifted. Reach one leg out, pull the knee towards you, and switch. 3 on each side. Pull the knees in, double leg stretch, and arms come around. 3 of those. Take the legs up and lower one leg and switch. 3 on each side. Good. Hands come behind the head. Legs squeeze together. Lower lift 3 times. Good. Tabletop with the legs for your crisscross. Last one on each side. Good. Take the hands behind your thighs and roll yourself all the way up. Good job. All right. We're going to turn our chair back around and do some standing press down here. So we've got a top and a bottom already on. We're going to keep that for this. So every chair is a little different in how far you want to be away. You got to kind of adjust this yourself. But I step back just a little bit because, again, I have long legs. And then we're going to find that tall spine. So bring your hands behind your head. Press the head into the hands, hands into head. So this is going to be our position for all of our standing exercises today. So nice and tall, you're going to take your right foot and bring it onto the pedal. Heel stays lifted here, and then we press this pedal down, lift it back up. So again, your left side is working pretty hard here to hold you up, right? So keep lifting up out of your hip as we go. We're going to do 8. Good. Last one. Now lift the pedal. Keep your foot on the pedal. You're just not pressing into it. Now you're going to take your arms to the ceiling, and we're going to lift the standing heel 6 times. Good. Now bring your hands to the top of the chair. Open the pedal a little bit. Bring your knee into the top of the chair on the edge, and we point and flex here.